Hi guys, I'm Lou, welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to walk you through my process for making my handmade labels for my handmade goods. I've got two different types of methods that I'm going to show you today. This is my scrunchie label. You can use this for multiple things, cushions, teddy bears, whatever it is that you're making. It's a folded over label that's got text on both sides or a logo, whatever you want to put on there, which is just using a ribbon and heat transfer paper. The other type is this one here. This is using heat transfer paper for dark fabrics, and I iron that directly onto my handmade goods. So that's typically if I just have a small thing that I've made and I just want to add a bit of branding on there, rather than making a label onto white fabric and then sewing that on. I actually use heat transfer paper for dark fabrics with a white background and then iron that directly onto my product. I'm going to walk you through the steps that I follow in Canva to create the templates for the labels that I make. So this is for the dark fabric, and then this is for the light fabric that's folded over. So stick around if you want to see how that's done in Canva, and then at the end I'll walk you through the process for ironing that onto fabric or the ribbon, and then how you can add that to your garment. But first of all, if you'd like to, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate your support. Right, now let's head over to Canva, and I'm going to start with the templates that I use to make this label for my scrunchie. You'll need to create a custom size template. So go to custom size, change to inches, and the width is 1, height is 2, create new design. Your logo should be uploaded into Canva. So select your logo and move that down onto the template. Move it roughly 2/3 of the way down, then just stretch it to the size that you need. Remember, you need to place another image above. So duplicate the image, drag that above, and turn that around. And then just move the two logos down. You've got enough space in the middle, enough for your fold in your fabric. Go to position and layers, and then just group those together. Now you can download your design and then re-upload that into Canva and then place that into a new template. For the new template, you'll need to create a new custom size, 8 by 11.5, create new design. And now you can move your logo image into this new template, and then just change the size and then move it up into the corner on the left-hand side. Now you can duplicate the image across the page. And align and tidy up. Go to positions, go to layers, select each image, arrange and tidy up. Group together and then duplicate. You want to duplicate this down the page now to fill the page with all of those images. Position, select each grouped image, and then arrange and tidy up again. And bring everything into line, and then just move it back into the center. And download. Now you're ready to print. Okay, now let's look at the template in Canva for this label. Create a new 8 by 11.5 design. And drag your logo into the page and move that down to the desired size. Move it up to the top left-hand corner and duplicate the image across the page. Its position, layers, select each image, arrange, tidy up, and then group the images. Now duplicate them down the page. Go to position, select each grouped row. Go to arrange, tidy up. And now change the background color to grey. And now you can download and print. Just one thing to be mindful of before you print, check the instructions on your heat transfer paper, because some heat transfer papers require you to mirror the image before you print. Now you can either do that in your printer settings, or you could mirror the image in Canva. I prefer to use the printer settings because that way my template is always set up for all scenarios, and I can then just choose whether I'm going to mirror or not from the printer settings. This is the heat transfer paper that I'm using today for my scrunchie label. This is for light fabrics, and it is the Cricut heat transfer paper for inkjet printers. And this is Agfa photo heat transfer paper for dark fabrics. There's tons of different types out there. These ones work well for me, so it's up to you how you do yours. I don't need to mirror my image on either of these heat transfer papers. Okay, so now for the fun part, making the labels. So this is the light heat transfer paper, which has got the two logos that will be essentially folded over to create that folded label. I'm going to be using a ribbed ribbon for these labels. You could also use bias binding tape as well, it'd work equally as good. I'm going to show you the ones that I've used for my products, and I like to use this really lovely ribbed ribbon. Now if you want to check the size of your logo just to make sure that it fits, place that down over the sheet and you can see on there that it is the right size. So another good thing to mention as well is that when you print these labels, it's always good to do it first on a blank piece of paper before you print it directly onto your heat transfer paper. That way you can test the sizing without wasting a sheet of heat transfer paper first. Get that right, because the dimension of the page is still the same, it's just an A4 sheet, and you'll get a feel for whether or not you need to make any adjustments in Canva. But this one works perfectly fine, so I will just cut a strip and I'll be able to iron that onto my ribbon. Okay, for the ribbon, if you were using a heat transfer paper that needed to be mirrored, you'd place that down over the ribbon like this, then you'd put your sheet over an iron, and then you'd peel back the backing, which is great. But for this paper, it actually requires you to place it down with the image facing up, so it was not mirrored. I'm going to make this slightly smaller just for ease so I can get it on shot. So I'm going to do a couple there. You just want to make sure there's no fluff. Nothing sitting on top of that ribbon, and then peel that away. Place it straight down on top of your ribbon. Grab your parchment paper. Placing that down over the top. And then ironing. Go back and forth a few times for about 10 seconds. There, you have your label. So you can cut that into a smaller size, and then you've got a bit of wiggle room there to place that inside your garment, and then close that up. So if you were going to just place that inside a scrunchie, you'd pop that into your hole, use a clip to hold it in place, and then just sew directly across. For the transfer paper for dark fabrics, I can just use that grey background as a guide for where I'm going to trim away, so that I'm left with the white border. Okay, so for the dark fabric, I'll peel the backing off of that transfer paper. And this one, you've got to be very careful. You can't have any fibres or fluff or anything in the way, because that can get into this heat transfer paper, and the last thing you want is a bit of fluff in there after you've made something, which is why I would only ever use this for either on an inside of a garment, like if you wanted to put just a label on the inside like that, or you could have it, you know, inside here. You could have your washing instructions written on there. I've used these just for my back of my jewellery pouches, a very tiny version of that, half the size of this, very small. I'm just made it this big for the tutorial, but typically I'd do a very, very small label, making it very easy to just add a tiny bit of branding to that, and it's on the back, it's not on the front of my product. Not a centerpiece, it's just a way of adding branding on there in a very discreet way. So this one's going to go on the inside of this pouch, and I'm just going to place that down, and I'm just going to put some paper over the top, parchment paper or the paper that comes with your heat transfer paper. Just make sure, as I said, that there's no fluff anywhere, no fibres. Always test this on a sheet first. If you're not sure, do a couple of test runs, making sure that your surface area is very neat and tidy and clean, and then just iron that on. Just need to run the iron over for about 10 seconds. And there you have it. Okay, so there you have it, 2 very simple ways of adding labels to your handmade products. I hope you enjoyed. Please come back for more. Thank you for watching.